Okay, hi guys, I'm just trying to process this. I just got an email from my landlord in this flat saying that she wants to kick me out at the end of the month. Oh, I did not see that coming. That was not in my plans. She's saying that she wants the flat back, which of course she's allowed to do because she owns it. And my housemate, who's a corporate lawyer, has checked the contract and she only needs to give us a month notice. So she can kick me out at the end of this month. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. For context, if you guys have followed me for the last year, when I decided to move to London, it took me 3 months to find a flat. The London housing market is quite intense. I literally went to 15 viewings and had to see so many places with mold. Oh, the thought of having to go back into flat hunting mode is just... it's just the worst feeling. Like when I first moved to this flat, the first few months were so miserable, just trying to find community, trying to work out the area, find routines, just make a life. And I feel like this last month has just genuinely been so good. It's been the first month where I feel like I love the area. I have my gym that I like, I have the cafes I like, I feel grounded, I feel like it's home, I feel like my room is mine. I have my cute plants and my cute lights and my nice desk, and I just have to move again. If you've been following me since university, you would know that I moved every 5 months at uni, and so I've not lived anywhere for more than 6-7 months in 5 years. Part of me isn't too scared because I know that I'm capable of moving. I know that I'm capable of building a new life. I've done it many times before. But there's another part of me that just really craves stability. I want a home that feels like mine. What do I do? This is the worst news. I'm so hectic and busy and life has felt like so much recently, and now I need to find a whole new place to live or move out. It's fine, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Do I stay in this area? Do I find another place in this area? Is that going to be feasible? Am I going to be flat hunting for 3 more months? I'm trying to stay optimistic. I know it's not the end of the world and I have a lot of privilege. I have a family home I can go to, but it is stressful. It is stressful.
Our experience of sitting in silence is defined very much by our perception. So there will be days when the mind might be quite busy.
Yes.
And for now, just find a comfortable place when the body is set upright but relaxed, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just gently opening the eyes now, just feeling the weight of the body as the mind becomes more aware how it feels. We've paused, taken some time.
So simple, 1 minute, but just your whole state feels different when you breathe differently. Meditation and my mindful habits are the bedrock of my mental health. I find that no matter how stressful life gets, as long as I dedicate at least 10 minutes a day to just sitting with myself, to just focusing on my breathing, monitoring my internal state, it's like it's this buffer that allows me to handle challenge in a lot more comfortable ways. I've been meditating almost every day since I was 16, which is crazy. Obviously I've had periods where I stopped in between that, but it is a habit that I just love and means a lot to my sense of self. I get questions all the time from you guys saying that you want to start meditating but you have no idea where to start, and I'm just very honoured that today's video is sponsored by Headspace. Headspace is the first meditation app I ever tried in my life when I was 16, and I think it's so beginner friendly because it has so many amazing options. They have things like breathing techniques for teenagers going through exam stress, meditation for times of stress and anxiety, meditation to help you unwind before bed. The whole app is so colourful and warm and pretty. I really loved their course on navigating change when I was going through my breakup and moving into London, and that's just so many transitions happening. I've recently been doing their Pro Level 5 course, which involves a lot more silence because I've been meditating for long enough that I don't necessarily need guidance the whole time. I'm quite happy to just sit with my thoughts and my body and observe sensations that arise. I am just so grateful that I get to offer you guys this, because with the link in my description or scanning this QR code, you can literally try Headspace completely for free. The entire app you get access to for 60 days, which is long enough to really build a meditation habit, to really try it out, see if it serves you. In times of uncertainty, there is just nothing that helps me feel more grounded than sitting with myself and breathing. And I really hope it does the same for you too. Let's get on with the day. You can rely. Just got my beloved porridge. And I don't know, there's something I love about sitting on the floor. I love a floor table. I love sitting on the floor. I think it's just like quite grounding. I feel a lot more optimistic today. I'm gonna make a spreadsheet. I'm gonna get looking at flats. I'm not gonna doubt that of course I will find a dream place that serves me in this next chapter of life. Like, of course it's gonna happen. We're manifesting it in. I have so much work to do right now. I feel very hectic, a lot of things to tick off. Because it's summer, it's like peak social hours, you know? Like, I want to spend time with friends. I don't want to be on the way just working or doing a full-time job of finding my next flat. But I know that I work best in the mornings, so my current strategy is to wake up earlier every day and have good deep work time to tick off my essential work stuff, to tick off getting further in my flat hunt. And I guess I'll find somewhere. I also know I can go home, which is such a luxury, and a lot of people don't have that option. I also think of all these people who have been displaced in Gaza, or like refugees for whom going back to a family home is just not an option. I just feel very aware of my privilege as well as I'm moving through this flat hunt. Like, yes, it's stressful, but also I can only fall so far, you know. In worst case, I will just go home. But it feels like almost taking a step back, you know. I've absolutely loved the independence of a flat on my own, and I'm not ready to give it up. Wow, it's actually so pretty. Wow.
Thank you all so much for coming today.
I can't lie, I'm a little bit nervous. She brings so much light and love into all of our lives. She does it for the world.
She changes our perspective.
Hi, I'm just making ginger tea and chopping up some watermelon because it's summer. It's a few days since I found out that I'm leaving, and I swear everything is just more beautiful and more wonderful when you know it's gonna end. It's the cruel bittersweetness of life. Like, I swear I have never loved my area as much as I have the last few days. I have never found my apartment so beautiful as I have in the last few days. I've never appreciated the friends or communities that I have here as much as I have in the last few days. And it's just so ironic because I remember a few months ago I was absolutely cursing this area of London and cursing London in general, and maybe it's just because it's summer and everything's prettier in summer, but I do think there is this cruel and wonderful irony about things ending that just makes everything more romantic. To be honest, I just want to live in denial. I don't want to have to do the whole flat hunt thing. I just don't want to have to think about it. I'm almost blissfully, ignorantly thinking that I can continue my life as it is. You know, I'm not going to have to move out, and that somehow things will just happen and coincidences will happen and life will carry me where it needs to carry me. But unfortunately, Delulu is not always just Delulu, so I know that I need to get a game plan together. It'll be okay. Optimism, optimism. guys, I just got home and I feel like I have been offered a strange note of serendipity. I don't yet know what to do with this information, but basically I just met up with a really good friend of mine, someone I really admire, and can you believe this? I was telling her my predicament, I was telling her about being given the notice to move out, I was stressed about what to do, and she's like, Jade, when would you need to move out? And I told her early September, and she's like, do you know what's crazy? My neighbours just came to me this morning and asked if I'd know anyone who would want to move into their flat in September because they're moving out. Isn't that a strange coincidence? I've very much not been thinking about Brighton as an option. I've been only looking at London flats. But should I move to Brighton? I've been to Brighton a few times in my life and it's always been very positive memories. But I've also only ever been a tourist. I've been there on day trips just to see the sea. But I know that it's rumoured to be a very creative and open-minded and cool place. And probably slower pace of life than London. Probably the kind of people that I would like. I don't know, I very much dismissed the idea when she said it, but it's lingering. It's lingering in my head. It would just be such a big life change. Brighton. I'm just constantly asking the universe to give me a sign, like the people, the places that I need to be. And so it does feel like a weird coincidence that this place is becoming available at the exact time that I need to move out. I'll keep this in mind. Okay, so if you've been following me this year, you would know that one of my potentially most controversial habits that I have adopted is reading tarot cards. And I read them in a way that I don't think is controversial. I think people associate tarot with like bad spirits and energies and supernaturalism, and I don't know, I just see it as a really good tool for reflection. The deck is made up of so many interesting cards with guidance and advice for thinking through your life situations in new ways, and I find it really useful for journaling. The book that I've learnt tarot from is Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation. So even cards which stereotypically could seem negative, like death or the Tower, I have always learned to read in a positive light, like the death of something that is not serving me, falling out of a tower in order to come back to reality and to stop building up walls. And I did 2 spreads, one to map out the potential of what my life could look like if I stay in London, and one to map out what my life could look like if I moved to Brighton. And both are good options. There's no bad outcome in either, which makes sense because life is what you make of it, and I think either way that my life could go, I would make something that I'd be happy with. But what I found interesting is that Brighton showed me becoming a much more authentic and unapologetic version of myself, whereas London showed me almost standing still and being patient and maybe investing in a longer term game. Whereas Brighton, it feels like I would flourish there. And upon receiving those cards, I feel this intuition that could be very true. The more I think about how I build up a lot of walls in this city to survive, people do not smile at you on the street. When you smile at strangers, I have just learned not to expect a positive response. I still smile because I don't want to lose elements of myself just because I'm not receiving the feedback that I'd like. But yeah, I definitely noticed myself changing, and I think Brighton would foster a truer, softer Jade. So right now I'm actually leaning towards Brighton, which is crazy, and I'm gonna still sleep on it a few days. I have to let the landlord know ASAP. I think that could be the new chapter. I love my tarot. It's such a good tool for reflection because however you react to what the cards say says a lot about how you feel. If a card is telling you to do something but you actually don't want to do that, then that reaction of not wanting to do it, that's already giving you insight. Or receiving a certain piece of advice that really resonates with you, questioning why it resonates, questioning why that's what you need to hear. It's just a brilliant tool.
Gently closing the eyes and just feeling yourself sink down into the bed beneath you.
I decided to take it. So suddenly my life changed very quickly. I had to leave the flat, but I couldn't move into my new flat for a few more weeks. So I was thinking about how on earth I can pack down my desk in a way that fits in my mum's car. This is what friends are for. And how I'd fill my time in the few weeks that I'd be at my family home before moving to Brighton. I was thinking about all the last things I'd wanted to do in my area but never got round to doing. Making time for goodbyes and delayed hellos and reflecting on the crazy journey that the last 7 months held. There's something so beautiful about finally making a decision. A kind of clarity where you can orient all your Delulu visions into believing that this is the right thing, the only thing. Because the second I signed my contract in Brighton, it suddenly felt like staying in London would never even have been an option. Brighton just suits me more. It's the queer capital of England, the most creative and open-minded place, and I'll be near the sea and near nature, and it's only an hour train ride into London, so I can still do my work and projects. And yes, I only currently know one person in the whole of Brighton, which is depressing that I'm throwing myself back into a world of loneliness. But it has a small town community feeling with loads of young people, and unlike London, I won't have to travel an hour and a half on the tube just to see a new friend. It kind of just feels right. I am a small town girl, and now I'll finally be a fish in the right sized pond again, at least for the next year. I will forever be grateful for this room and how it held me in some really difficult times. Much growing, much crying was done in this room. It was a long time to turn it from a house to a home. But in a weird way, I am okay with leaving. I trust that whatever's next is better.